Thanks for joining us for another episode of Good Teams Win, Great Teams Cover. We're back this week with a completely off-topic episode as we're going to be doing the Gregs draft. So that's not a draft of famous Gregs. Who would be your 1-1 gents in your famous Gregs draft?
The first one that comes to mind is one of my favorite NFL analysts, Greg Rosenthal. Great guy, great analyst. Around the NFL has been missing for nearly fucking 5-6 weeks at this point. No one knows what's going on. But and he has a great nickname because he spells the same way as Greg's bakery, and it's 60% G, which is an incredible nickname. I wish I had such a cool. And Byron's a pretty cool nickname. I guess my real name is John, but yeah, 6% G is pretty baller. So I'll give a shout out to Rosenthal.
Excellent, Joe. Who would your 1-1 Greg be in a Gregory draft?
Well, the problem is I can't think of any Gregs. The only one who came to mind was Gregs Gregorys, but I don't think that would be my 101. But Greg Wallace. They were the first Gregs I thought of straight away. But I'm sure there's plenty of other Gregs out there. But not on top of the head.
Other Gregs are available.
Other Gregs are available. I'll stick to topic. I'll go Greg Olsen. He'd be mine.
Oh, he's a good one, yeah.
Greg Olsen, that's a good one. Greg Rusedski, brilliant. Right, anyway, what a terrible introduction to this week's episode. So yeah, we're going to be doing a draft of Greg's the Bakers, one that's very close to my heart, and many people around the UK. So if you are one of our listeners from America, Canada, and anywhere else, you might be a bit baffled by this, but you might also learn a thing or two, and maybe on your next visit to the United Kingdom, we'll stop by. We'll also be covering the limited NFL news that there's been this week, because it's been another quiet one. But Joe, Byron, first of all, how are you both doing?
Grand, yeah, busy, but yeah, good.
Yeah, can't complain out here either. It's been delight, as we mentioned the last few weeks, with all the sports going on. And like I said, the NFL is fairly quiet, but yeah, it feels like I think I saw 10 more Sundays to go. So it's the countdown has begun. Yeah,
Scott Hansen every Sunday at just the time when Red Zone starting pops that tweet out. And yeah, we're nearly there. We're going to be running through our State of the Division, our division preview episodes, whatever we're going to call them. We're starting to line up all our guests, and we're going to get all those recorded over the next few weeks, and that'll be kind of our run into the start of the regular season. First of all, we'll start with good week, bad week for us chaps. It's a new segment we've been doing. Let's start bad week, because we've been ending on the negatives recently. So let's start with the negatives. Byron, your bad week?
Good question. I had one a minute ago as well. I guess like the biggest thing is, I guess it's entitled How Bad Things Are. England's been really dull to watch at the Euros. I think I'm generally an optimist with England, much to my own hurt, over 37 years of cheering for a team that never win anything. But yeah, it's been really, like, they have finished top of the group, so yippee. But it's been really uninspiring, to be polite. Hopefully things improve going forward, because they can grind out wins. They do have good players. You know, if it clicks, I think it will click. Like, it will click, and they can still win the tournament. I don't think that's out of the question. And a lot of the other big nations are certainly not looking pristine either. But yeah, it's been a really uninspiring group stage, I guess is probably the best way to put it. And, you know, take so much enjoyment of like the build up to these tournaments if England are going to be good, and it hasn't been.
Yeah, not taking the piss. I genuinely fell asleep for a bit last night during that Slovenia game. I was on the sofa watching it, and I wasn't particularly tired or anything, but I just nodded off for 15 minutes watching it. It was so bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, if you're following our show or anything like that, you'll see Charlie making his picks, and he literally refused to take a treat to pick a winner in the game yesterday, and he was right to do so. He's 4-0, including 2 draws where he refused to take a treat, and those are both draws.
Is he okay? Because that's wild. It's just not.
You know what? Weirdly, it has been a little off. But like when we come in from going out, you know, that's the treat I give him, his little burger things that he had yesterday, and he takes them. He loves them. And like when we do like his puppy train, he's not a puppy anymore, but like still make him do his puppy sit-ups and stuff, like down, up, roll over. You know, he still does anything to get a treat other than pick a winner in an England game. So I mean, come the knockouts, he's going to have to pick a winner. You know, it might be a case of forcing him in a small space. I'm like, Charlie, you will be picking a winner because we have content to put out.
I mean, he could still take the draw at 90 minutes.
Nah.
That's
Nah, it's going to progress. I am not having this half-assed attitude in the knockouts, Charlie. I'll say half-assed, he's been correct. So, you know,
I mean,
credit to him.
I mean, you know, back in draws, you know,
profitable.
Yeah, it is profitable certainly so far. Joe, how about you? So you can't take England. Byron's already done that.
Yeah, and I can't take that. I lost the quiz last week again because some terrible answers from me last week. Let's go. Even though let's do typical British thing. The weather's obviously picked up, but my God, it's humid right now. It's just the aircon's in, all that kind of stuff. I enjoy the sunshine when it's not this humid. It's just it's been a sweaty one lately. So that's probably the bad week here. I don't know how it's been for you two guys.
Yeah, it's been rancid here as well. I mentioned just before we started recording, we've just had that spike all of a sudden here that we have in the UK where it just gets just ridiculously warm out of nowhere for a real short period of time. It's been for like 4 or 5 days and it's just disgusting. It is just disgustingly sweaty. Nice weather. I got really badly sunburnt the other day. I was out for maybe an hour and a half.
I was at the top of your back of your head, mate.
Yeah, no, something like it was my arms really weirdly copped for it, not the thinning bonds. But yeah, it's disgusting. I think it's gonna be over in a couple of days.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same. Chicago summer's a hot, man. Like, it's weird. Like, I never thought about it till I came here, but like, basically every day since Saturday, I think maybe Friday, has been 30 plus. So like the aircon's been on basically constantly, so that's going to be good for the Lecky bill. And I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon. Although the one thing you do get, I think this is more common than it used to be because global warming, etc., climate change. You get some badass thunderstorms on the night though, and like great lightning claps and stuff around here. Like we'll literally get 90 degrees, and then I think it's like 3 nights this week we've had thunderstorms and tornado warnings, which is pretty wild. Never seen a tornado in Illinois. See, one when this is going to be a long thing for good bad, but one when we were living in Wisconsin, a tornado literally went between our house and our neighbor's house, which I mean, there's quite a distance because we're in a pretty rural area, but like, yeah, tornado literally went between the 2 houses, which was fucking nuts, and like smashed our neighbor across the streets like fence. Luckily, again, it's calmed down before I got to like kind of just miss their house and then settle down, but yeah, it's pretty fucking wild because 50 feet to the left of to our side, and we, it would have fucked the shed up or the garage up or something at least.
Wild.
Pretty wild just watching it though, like trying to avoid it and just be like, oh my God, please, just.
Doing that, hell, that
it worked, 100% success rate. So
cool, good stuff. I'm glad you survived. Otherwise, we don't know where we'd be. My bad week is that I hate flat pack furniture and moving fucking sucks. So I moved Friday, and so pretty plain sailing moving. Apart from my wardrobe that I took down, IKEA special, flat pack one. Took it apart. Thought we'd done a good job. Kept everything intact. Should be a pretty easy one to put back together, and then putting it back together, it's just so flimsy and not in a position where you can, where it's safe to be up. So just that kind of crap has been my bad week. It's just such a faff. Just such a faff moving. It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah. The main reason we stayed here a second year, truthfully, was because we couldn't be able to move in again. Like the flat's fine, it's near enough seeing his parents and all that, like it's okay, but like
it's just pain, like trying to move in washing machines and fridge freezer. Yeah, all my hands are messed up from like catching him on things and like trapping, when you're carrying things through doorways that only just fit and catching them on. Just not cool. So that was my bad week. What about your good week? Let's end this segment on a high. Joe, what's been your good thing this week?
Yeah, I think I mentioned a few weeks back, my mum and stepdad's been out for the last few weeks. So they went back on Sunday. So really good spending some time with family we hadn't seen for a while. So there's been plenty of boozing and walking around the city, and went to Canmore the week weekend before, which was beautiful. And so yeah, just been enjoying all of that stuff.
Nice, good stuff. Byron, your good week?
So on Saturday coming, it's the Scott Fishbowl Podathon, which is 36 hours of straight YouTube streaming. Sal Leto hosts it. And yeah, they had kind of ask if anyone would like to be involved, fill in the sheet, etc. So I thought, I'll apply. Why not? We're not really big hitters here at Good Teams Win, Great Teams Cover, but you never know. Might as well ask. And yeah, I've got booked in on a nice 30-minute slot on Saturday afternoon, 4:30 Eastern time, 3:30 my time, 9:30 UK time. So, I mean, yeah, nice to have a drink in the UK, sit and listen to me talk Scott Fishbowl and such like. So yeah, I said I was making my Scott Fishbowl Podathon debut. I did actually do a live draft on there. I think it's the first time I've ever done a live draft on the Podathon. I was done a live draft on there once before, but that was like a couple of minutes guest thing of like talk about your first round pick, whereas this is like an actual 30-minute segment. So yeah, really excited and honored to be on it. So it's kind of cool.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure on our Twitter and Instagram and stuff, we'll have the links and everything you need for that to catch Byron on the Scott Fishbowl Podathon. 36 hours, that's some going. I saw the run sheet the other day. I think you posted it in our group, but I saw it on the page as well. And yeah, what a wild thing, what a great thing to do as well. So yeah, Byron, we know you will represent us and do a great job.
Cheers.
Good stuff. And hopefully we'll get some new eyes on Good Teams and Great Teams cover.
Fingers crossed.
However you choose to consume Good Teams and Great Teams cover. My good week, and that ties us into the first bit of NFL news that we'll talk about, is managed to get some tickets for the NFL at Tottenham. So I will be going to the Jacksonville Jaguars Chicago Bears game at Tottenham. So we were, I say we because Jenny was in the queue. I was busy with house moving stuff when the tickets went on sale. But yeah, she got in the queue at 101,000 and something. So I was very unsure if we were going to get there. But yeah, managed to get some tickets. So yeah, very, very, very much looking forward to that. I've still going to watch the Jaguars, who've been in the UK this week, doing lots of great stuff. Camps. They've done the Players Tour around a few cities, Manchester, Bristol, some others, where they've had, I think they had a player, GM, a couple of other people knocking about, putting on some great shows as part of kind of that tour and commitment to the UK that the Jaguars have got. But yes, we will be there. Good Teams and Great Teams cover will be there, and we'll try and do something fun down there. I don't know, maybe catch up with some of the guys that we've had on, assuming they'll be there at the game. And yeah, we'll try and do some fun stuff. Maybe we'll make some content while we're down there as well.
Should be.
Get an assistant, and we'll be roping Wilco in, who's coming to the game with us, to maybe be cameraman or do something. I don't know.
Got a Wilco to find this out now as well.
Yeah.
First time he's heard it.
Still needs to pay for his ticket. Yeah. Cool. So that's the first, I suppose, big bit of news then was that the London and Munich game went on sale, and I think we're fully sold out. So within the space of an hour, it was crazy for the two games at Spurs, and then once again there were over 1 million people in the queue for the Germany game, the Munich game, at the time of it going on sale, which is crazy when you consider it's the Giants and the Panthers. Really, really committed to go watching some terrible football, the guys over there in Germany.
Yeah, well, something about Frank Reich again,
I mean, they're watching some terrible football right now if they're tuning into the England games while they're there. So maybe they'll get used to it.
Getting the habit,
Other big bit of news is that the Carolina Panthers, who are one of the teams in that Germany game, look like they've made a commitment to Carolina and Charles in particular, with I believe it's an $800 million deal with the city to renovate. It's Bank of America Stadium, isn't it? Yeah, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. Any surprise that the Panthers are staying, or just how much that they're not going to be paying for this renovation?
It's the same old, isn't it? Billionaires don't pay for Jack, and taxpayers pick it all up for them to have a largely unsuccessful NFL team in their vicinity. Lucky them. I don't like it. I don't like David Tepper. And now he's just gets a free stadium. Well, not free totally, but very cheap stadium, etc., to stay in the area. So
so
I mean, good for the fans, I guess, who do actually like them being there. It just stinks, I think, truthfully. Like,
of the $800 million, $650 million of it is coming from the city of Charlotte to keep the Panthers there.
Yeah, it's not really good value, is it?
No,
great value if you're David Tepper, though. Drop in the ocean, 150 mil to get a $1 billion plus stadium probably by the time it's finished.
Yeah, to renovate. It's not particularly, the stadium itself's not that old. I think it was 1996 when the stadium opened, just when the Panthers started, I guess, the expansion franchise started. Yeah. So it's not that old, but
they'll probably get a Super Bowl as well soon, right? That seems to be like kind of the norm, is you get a new stadium, you get a Super Bowl soon after. So
yeah, if you get a new or revamped stadium, I guess a Super Bowl could be coming to North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and also the other bit is that the Jaguars deal that we talked about a few weeks ago has been passed by the city. Now that one is a bit more of an even split. The Khan family and the city of Jacksonville seem to be as close to a 50-50 split as you kind of can be, really. Each side are contributing $625 million to the $1.25 billion project. I think the city are down for chipping in an extra $150 million down the line to help maintain it, so it skews it a little bit. But it does mean that Jacksonville will be playing outside of the Jaguars. So we're playing outside of Jacksonville for a period. I think in the 2026 season they're going to have to move to either Gainesville, which I'm pretty sure is the Florida Gators Stadium, as well as playing at, or Orlando, which will be the Citrus Bowl, to play.
Are they taking the pool along with them just in case to keep the home?
I was wondering
home fans happy.
Possibly, I don't know, but it's not.
Paddling pool.
Both are pretty big distances from Jacksonville. Both are at least a few hours away, so it's not they're not particularly close. But I guess it will just be what's needed to get Everbank Stadium done. That'll be the Jaguars in Jacksonville for another 30 years. So that will definitely kibosh. But it does open up, in the short term, the opportunity for Jacksonville Jaguars to play more games in London. I think there's a season or two when they're going to be playing those games, maybe through 2025, where they have to play reduced capacity in Jacksonville, and then 2026 in Gainesville or Orlando, where they might play 3 or even 4 games in London, just because they'll have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
Might as well make it 8.
Might as well make it 8. Even more Jaguars in London. I'll probably end up at those games as well. And then the only other real bit of news is that the Kelsey brothers, and more importantly, Travis, was in town in London to help Taylor Swift on her Eras tour as she hit Wembley. Travis Kelce made an appearance on stage. I assume it's a one-off. I don't think he's going to be doing it for every show. But the Kelce's at Wembley. There was a pretty cool moment I saw on the NFL UK channel where there was a young kid who was attending the concert, had his Jason Kelce jersey on. Jason Kelce so happened to be walking by with cameras, and they found the kid, and he just managed to meet Jason Kelce. Just by happenstance, which is a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, it was real nice. I was thinking as well, like, Jason Kelce's looking good, right? Looks like he's lost a lot of weight since he stopped playing. I know he wasn't like fat, he's a lot of padding and stuff, but I don't know. I thought he looked like real svelte, a bit like Joe Thomas when he stopped playing.
I think like old linemen do, don't they? Like when they stop playing, they don't have to keep up that crazy diet to keep the size, is that they lose weight quite quickly. Yeah,
they very much have a different over 30s kind of draft, I think. Here's us struggling to, like Joe said, like look at our dinner and not put bloody weight on. And here's them like, oh, finally I can stop eating. Like, what? No, like, are you crazy? But I thought he looked really good.
What a life to live.
I haven't seen him. Genuinely, Jesus. What a life.
What a life to live indeed. Good stuff. Well, that was our NFL news roundup. Shall we get into the Gregs draft?
Yeah, I'll let you explain to people who don't know what Gregs is, I guess, why we're doing a Gregs draft or
So
what
that
a
was
Gregs is.
exactly what I was going to ask you to do. But okay, I'm going to do it. So Greg's is certainly one of my favourite places to grab. I'm selling Greg's. One of my places to grab some lunch or a bite to eat, and it's certainly one of the UK's favourite places for it. And I keep freezing on screen on the video I can see, which is putting me in some very precarious positions. But yeah, certainly all up and down the UK, Greg's the Baker's providing a wide range of pastry goods, sandwiches, the like, sweet treats, cakes, blah, 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 blah. And it's by far and away the number one of that type of establishment in the UK. And it seems like in the last 5 to 10 years, it just seems to have exploded even more and more around the country. I should have found out how many there actually are around the UK, but in most cities there's at least half a dozen in a city centre. In most decent sized cities in the UK. How would you, for the benefit of those not in the UK, Byron, Joe, how would you best describe Greg's then maybe to the people that live in Canada or the people that live in the UK? What would you compare it to? I guess that might be the best way to.
I think the problem is there's nothing to compare it to. I think that's why I think me and Byron probably have greater love for it, is that, you don't realise what you've got until it's gone. And it's certainly been the case with Greg's. It's something they just don't do that kind of pastries or anything like that out here. I don't think it's a thing. Even trying to get the staples of what Greg's do from anywhere, it's just not available and it's just not the same. So it's hard to say what exactly. I think everyone who's gone over to England, that's one of the places I've recommended them to. I said, it's obviously not a 5-star restaurant, but it's a slice of heaven, and it probably explains the British culture and especially Northern as well. It's very us where pastry is king. And growing up where I'm from, Barnes, I think there was 3 in a space of 2-minute walk, and one used to up until 2-3 a.m. in the morning. So after a night out, beautiful Greg's used to be amazing. So it's hard to describe it. It's just a slice of heaven. That's how I would describe it.
It was one of the weirder things, because again, in the UK as well, really common is and again, especially up north, I find is you do have a lot of Greg's, but in your kind of your housing estates and stuff like that, you generally have a local bakers as well, which are always great, or generally great. Some of them are a bit less great. Carlisle has 2 different independent bakery chains. It has only 2 or 3 shops. I'm not saying they're a thing, but they're just local to Carlisle or Cumbria. So basically you never have to walk far to get to a bakery where you can have a nice sweet treat or a nice baked good or a bacon sarnie on a morning. And it just does not exist in America at all. And from what Joe said, doesn't exist in Canada. And budget friendly, a couple of quid for a bacon sarnie and a cup of tea on a morning is
so
a dream. You go to McDonald's breakfast on the way to work or something and you're talking $7. You want a Starbucks and a bite at a Starbucks, you're talking $10. It's cheap, it's cheerful, it's working class. The food's really good as well, for what it is. And when Cindy first came, or when I'd first talk about Saturday, I'd be I'm going to go to the bakery, then get a chippy or something like that. And she's like, oh, what are you getting at the bakery? And I'd be like, a cheese and onion roll or something. And she's like, or a bread roll. I'm like, no, a sausage roll. She's like a hot dog. I'm like, what's the confusion here? No, a sausage roll, And then, I'm not going to say when she arrived, I took her to a bakery, but we went to a bakery when she was here, and it was oh, this is just wild. It's so good. And it just doesn't exist. And Cindy's often, when she tries to explain to her friends, when I'm raving about how much I miss Greg's, of it's a bit like a Dunkin', but with different, a bit different. I'm and that probably is the closest of the chain things you can get to, but it's comparing, KFC to a chippy. It's just, they kind of exist in the same relative realm, but they're worlds apart. So yeah, and same as you said, Joe, any of my friends who go to England, there's a couple of nice places I recommend them to. If you're in London, go to these couple of places, but you must go to a Greg's. One of my friends from a fantasy football chat last week was in England, and I was like, if you tell me what cities you're going to, I can give you some recommendations of places to go eat or whatever. But anywhere you go, go to a Greggs because like they will be there and they will be good. Yeah, I can't say enough good things, and I miss it dearly daily.
Yeah, I feel bad for you guys. Is Tim? The one thing I was thinking, is it similar, Joe? Is Tim Hortons similar to?
Feels like the Duncan
Greggs?
example, right?
Yeah, no, it's similar to that. Just like I said, they just don't do like you can't even buy pastries. Like the only way ones you can do is if there's like a European or like a British place, but they're few and far between. They're just even trying like their sausage rolls or their like pies is not a thing really out here either. It's
That's a travesty.
I found
there's
one
a lot of travesties.
in where I used to live, close to Chicago. There was one Irish bakery, and I mean that was still like a 30-minute drive away. We went a few times, and it was good, but it was nothing like Greggs. Like it was super expensive as well. It was like 2 sausage rolls for a tenner, and it was like no. But it was nice to be there and like speak to like an Irish person and someone who's kind of local. But yeah, like Joe says, like it needs to be a European place, and you're gonna pay through the nose for it, and it won't be as good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into it. I mean, for the next hour or so, we're going to wax lyrical about how good Greggs is in the hope of some sort of sponsorship. They're going to get tagged in the episode post. So let's see what happens with that. Who knows? Fingers crossed. I might get a shitload of stuff from Greggs. We'll see. So we did the order before, as always, for our drafts. Joe drew the number 1 pick. It'll be Joe, Byron, and then myself in a snake draft order. 5 rounds, so there's going to be 15 picks in total. And there's one condition for this draft is that we have to have something both savoury and sweet. So, you can't just have all sweet or all savoury. You have at least one of each. That's the only stipulation for the draft. Joe, you are up. What item are you taking?
Bloody good guy.
What item are you taking with the number 1 overall pick in the Greggs draft?
For me, this was an obvious choice. It's their staple. It's what they're known for. We've already mentioned it a couple of times. It's the thing when I went back in April. It's the first thing I got from Greggs. Sent it to Meg just to make her jealous out here in Canada. She wasn't happy. It is the humble but amazing. It's the sausage roll. It's Greggs sausage roll.
Yeah,
when you say, for me, when you say sausage roll, everyone's like, "Oh, Greggs." It feels very, I don't really know. You can't really say it. There's like obviously other places like bakeries will do sausage rolls, but there's just sausage roll anywhere. It's usually Greggs. There's not like, oh, you're going to get, McDonald's sausage roll. There's nothing like that. So for me, sausage roll is the number 1 choice. Super happy that I got that to make it really easy. And go with the big hitter to start with. Yeah,
I think it's the right pick. The 1-1, the GOAT, the staple. Can I just read to you I'm on Greggs. Obviously, I put the board together for us so that we've got the pool of items. And we've also got, by the way, just to go, we've got current menu items plus discontinued items. So it's all-time Greggs stuff because there's lots of great things that they no longer do. I'll read you the how they've described their sausage roll on the website. The nation's favourite sausage roll. Yeah, I agree with that. Much like Elvis was hailed the king of rock and roll, many have appointed Greggs as the unofficial king of sausage rolls. Can't argue with that.
And if he lived in Britain, he would have had a lot of sausage rolls as well. Yeah.
I mean, you see the junk he had to eat in America, like peanut butter and banana sandwiches deep fried. And Elvis, Mr. Presley, get yourself to a Greggs and you wouldn't have to put up with this contraption. Just get a 4-pack of sausage rolls, £2. Back in my day, it's probably about £6 now. Happy days. And it's such like, it's kind of what Joe's saying, like it is an iconic item. And again, like when you think of a sausage roll, it is a Greggs sausage roll. Like some of them have like kind of like that higher crust. The pastry goes like a bit more triangle at the top. A Greggs flat sausage roll, or not flat, but like that perfect shape is just like, exactly what it should be.
Like, I genuinely don't think there are many better things in life then when you get the perfect Greggs sausage roll, so it's where it's maybe been out the oven 10, 15 minutes, so it's still like hot and warm, but not like it's gonna take off the roof of your mouth hot. It's where it's just on that point where the pastry's just on the verge of being overcooked, so you still get it's still soft, but it still maintains the moisture of the sausage, and it's just consistent golden all the way through the pastry. Phenomenal, absolutely. When you get a perfect one of those, oh my god, it's so good.
For me, when I was at Greg's, used to be okay. I'm gonna get a sausage roll, and then the decision would be what else am I gonna get with it. That would be. It's just like that staple. Definitely get a sausage roll, and then it's deciding what else I fancy as well. If it's another savoury or something sweet, it's just the They must make how much they make sausage rolls. I'll be curious to see how many million sausage rolls.
I was starting to look over it. It's something like I want to say. I think I saw it. It was like 2 million a week. They sell, I think. 2 million per week.
I just Googled it. The London Economist website says they make and sell 5 sausage rolls every second, the equivalent of 1 million a day or 7 million a week.
7 million a week, Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
So
and I mean, that's since I moved as well. So maybe it's gone down in the last 4 years.
Yeah, that is wild. Crazy. Also, just again, you both guys have been away for a while. I remember like in the early mid-90s, price for sausage roll was like 27p from Greggs or 31p. It was like always a funky number.
Yeah.
They were always so cheap. How much do you think a Greggs sausage roll is now? Just one individual Greggs sausage roll in sterling.
I'm going to guess.
Sterling? Not throughout the UK, just sterling. I'm
going to guess 150.
Oh, I was going to go 110, so yeah, I'll stick with 110.
£1.20.
Oh, I was going to go 125. And it was £1 just as I was leaving.
Yeah, crazy.
Inflation.
I didn't remember there being 27p or 29p. And
Well, I've seen when I was doing a little research for like discontinued items and stuff, I've seen like a picture of like, or it might be in a TikTok or something of someone like getting their Greggs, and I've seen like a slice, whatever it was, steak bake or whatever, was like $2.50, and I was like, fucking hell. Like that's.
I must have been in London.
It could well a bit, yeah. Didn't have much context other than a quick glimpse. I'm like, fucking hell, that is expensive.
Yeah, but sadly, it's just the way economy has gone. But yeah, the days where you used to go over £1 and get like 3 things and get change. It was so good. Yeah. Many an after swimming session or something like that, piling in the Greggs. Oh, the good old days. Yeah, great pick, Joe. Yeah, and I think fully expected that, which is why I had it prepared. Byron,
I'm prepared.
I don't, because I've no idea where you're going to go now.
Yeah, this is my 101. I know the sausage roll is classic and a staple, but I'm just going on pure enjoyment. And if I have an all-times Greggs in front of me, what item am I going to take? I am going to take a festive bake. Absolutely beautiful.
Seasonal.
Yeah, I'm going seasonal. I would take it all year round if I could, but the fact it is seasonal, I think, gives it a little boost of like, you can only get it here and there, and it's such a treat. Like the first day they're available, it's like, I'm going Greggs, get myself festive bake for lunch, might get a sausage roll with it, because obviously, probably not going to get 2 festive bakes, that might be a bit much. But yeah, it's one of the things I always used to look forward to so much. I love your local baguette shops do like Christmas sandwiches and all that, but like, yeah, Greggs festive bake, just a thing of beauty. For those who don't know, it's like turkey, bacon, stuffing, cranberry, all mixed up in a pastry, essentially. It's absolutely divine.
Nice, good stuff. One, I was certainly on the list. I was thinking maybe I might get it, maybe it'd be a late on pick, but number 2 overall is strong. I'm a fan of it. I can't have too many of them though. I'm like, I maybe have 1 or 2 because they come out early as well. They'll come out like the first, second week in November or something. So I'll have like 1 or 2 and be like, oh yeah, that was cool. Before it just mixes up my rotation a bit, I guess, around that time. But yeah, solid. Yeah. Big fan of that. I think they've also now started to make vegan and vegetarian festive bakes as well.
They have. I didn't add it to our sheet because I've never had it. So I was like, if you guys want to add it, go ahead. But it was after my time, unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, thoughts on the festive bake going number 2 overall?
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. I had like other ones. I can't say I've had that many festive bakes, so I can't really speak experience. So I'll take Byron's word for that. If that's his favorite, that's his favorite. So I wonder if that's a shock to the system, to the rest of the crowd, to a few gasps, a few big Gregs fans looking around, not knowing what to do. But yeah, great pick.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. Yeah, and it has has like the lattice. Is that the right way? It's the lattice
The lattice
pastry rather than the standard pastry, which I think makes it obviously that little bit different. Makes it that little bit different and stands out. I like that. But yeah, what's it? Is it? I always thought it was turkey. And it's not. It's chicken.
Oh, I was saying it was turkey too. In my head, it's turkey, but
yeah, I think it's chicken, sage and onion stuffing, bacon, and sage and cranberry sauce.
It's some kind of white bird.
But the festive and Christmas range has been extended for sure. There's lots on there. There's probably some of those that I've missed on the list, off the list, actually. I don't know if you guys put them on.
I added a few on the seasonal items. I don't know if I've actually had, but I see them on there and I was like, I'll add them on just because they caught my eye.
Yeah, but yeah, cool. Good shout. I'm in a really good place. So I've got my favourite Greg's item, and it's going to be, I believe, the first discontinued one on the list. And this could be a regional thing as well, so I'm hoping it got as far north as Carlisle, and I'm sure they would have had them in South Yorkshire, Joe. But my favourite all-time Greg's item discontinued about 5-6 years ago, and for what reason I do not know, but it is just the humble meat and potato pasta. I have no idea why it stopped. So I think it was meat and potato slice on the menu, but meat and potato pasta for the benefit of anybody else or anybody northern. For some reason I used to be under the impression that these were solely a northwest thing, but I don't think that's the case. But yeah, just real solid. Very, very simple combination, but yeah, fantastic. Paired perfectly with the sausage roll as well. Couldn't go wrong with the sausage roll meat and potato pasta combo.
I feel like I'm going to say that a lot today.
You can just assume that every one of these items that we're going to select in this draft would pair perfectly with the sausage roll. But yeah, I think as a main bit, I was going for years and before. It's probably took me a while to actually spread out at Greg's and get other things because this meat and potato pasta was so good. And I discovered, when did I discover that it no longer did it? I think I was in Victoria Station in Manchester, so not that long ago. Victoria Station opened a Greg's, which is fantastic. Just getting on the train. I think I was just coming back from a United game, maybe a midweek one, a late one, and I just walked in, didn't even look, and just asked the guy, "Oh, can I have meat potato pasta and sausage roll?" And the guy was like, "What are you talking about, meat potato pasta?"
I like that. Not only did they get rid of it,
that evening.
They got rid of it and also like gave all the staff a Men in Black treatment. Like, meat and potato pasta, it's never existed here, mate. It's like, well, I had one 2 days ago.
Yeah. And I assume, obviously, I think he was quite a young fella, and it had been a while since I'd been in. But yeah, just no meat potato pastas. Travis,
what a terrible evening watching Man U at midweek and then not getting a meat and potato pasta, a double. I'm surprised. Was there a tear on the train on the way back? I
think there was, mate. Yeah. I think I just went double sausage roll. I think is what happened. So every cloud. But yeah, meat potato pasta for me. Thoughts on? I assume Carlisle and Barnsley have these. Yeah,
I remember them certainly in Carlisle. Yeah, and
I've never had one, to be honest, so I can't really speak on that. And for me though, like the pasta itself, I would never there's other companies and other places where I would think first when it comes to pastas.
It's in the slice. Maybe the slice is the better word for it.
Okay.
Slice shape, so it's not in the traditional Cornish
pasta.
Oh,
cool.
Like your steak, chicken bit.
Cool. That's what I was imagining it to be like. Okay, I'll let you off then.
Maybe I'll
it's not your Cornish.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it's not the Ginsters.
Yeah, no, it's not that. But yeah, I always used to call it pasta, and I assume that's what it was on the thing. Maybe it was just called meat potato slice. Maybe, I don't know.
In my head, when Greg's went more nationwide, because in my head they were always a northern thing, because I think they used to be called Burkutts, if I'm remembering correctly, and then
it's a Geordie. It's a Geordie company, isn't it?
Gregs. And I think when they went more nationwide, they stopped calling everything pasty because I don't think in my head it's a fully English term, but it must just be a stronger Northern term. And it felt like everything translated to slice then, because I'm sure I remember things being called pasties as well.
Yeah.
And literally everything's now a bake or a slice, so that must be obviously that's a conscious decision.
Yeah.
So we save some money on the on letters.
Well, that's the theory about why. Sorry, it's going a bit off thingy. Of why Americans don't use the letter U as much as we do, because like when they were doing print advertising, it was just easy to say COLOR than pay for an extra letter. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, I'm sure I saw that the other day as well. There must be something on like Instagram or something like that where I saw the someone had saying that.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how true it is, but interesting anyway, because it must have, again, it's a conscious decision from someone for some reason.
Ooh.
So anyway, yeah, I like the pick, Paul. It's like a real throwback pick. I really wasn't expecting it to go, I must be honest. It wasn't on my list, but I have a similar one on my short list, truthfully. So,
But yeah, really, really good. Really consistent as well.
Yeah.
It was just always good. Like, you never get a bad one. Like, just, really, really consistent. And really, really flavorful for such a basic combination of food, like staple combination of food. But yeah, really, really good and flavorful. So the first round was sausage roll from Joe, festive bake from Byron, meat and potato slice or meat and potato pasta from me. Me again, I like. There's a lot of my good stuff and a lot of my favourites still available, and I've still got all the sweet treats because I still need to go get at least one sweet thing. All those are opening in front of me. Do I venture into sandwiches or do I hang on? Oof. Yeah, I'm gonna take what for me is the number one in sandwiches from the sandwich section of the menu. I'm going to go for the Mexican chicken oval bite.
Yeah.
What a sandwich that is. What a sandwich. Very happy that it's still there for me to take at the start of the second round. And for me, the number one sandwich on offer at Gregs from your lunch sandwich range. Mexican, how do I put it? Is Mexican chicken oval? Yeah, Mexican chicken oval bite, just for the graphic. I'm trying to do two things at once here, but yeah. Fantastic. You got there, obviously, that oval bread, muffin, I would call it, from being from the Northwest. Yeah, I know. Well, call it different things. That can be a whole episode on its own. With the chicken breast, seasoned chicken breast, the sauce, the salad leaves. It's just solid. Really, really good sandwich. And happy that's the first sandwich that's come off the board. What are your thoughts, gents, on the Mexican chicken oval bite?
Yeah, I used to like getting the Mexican chicken oval bite and the Mexican chicken baguette, both real good to me. It's got like the, not spicy mayo, but not sure exactly what you'd call it. It's been a while since I've had one, truthfully, but it's kind of like a brownie mayo, right?
Yeah, it's just like a chili.
Chipotle.
Almost not a chili. I want to say, chipotle mayo, I guess, is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah, always real solid though. It'd probably be my top couple of sandwiches, definitely. If I'm getting a sandwich from Gregs, it's either that or, well, I won't say, I guess, in case I decide to draft it. But
yeah, you mentioned the baguette, and the baguette is very similar. I think it's just literally got the addition of red onions and jalapenos on it. But it's just the oval, the bread's better. The baguettes I struggle with at Gregs. They're a bit too chewy. When you get like chewy bread or chewy, getting you jaw aches. That's how I feel after a Gregs. That's one thing that then the baguettes need to be stronger. Yeah, I get that from a Gregs baguette, which is why I think the oval bite trumps it.
I've seen someone giving a good tip on, to be fair, like if you have a baguette that is too firm and too chewy, just give it that hock to her, and that'll loosen it right up for you. You've got to spit on that thing.
Very topical here at Good Teams when Great Teams cover. What a whirlwind couple of weeks it's been for that lady.
Boy, am I glad people didn't post that shit on the internet when I was younger. I would not like to be her. That's.
What were you getting up to when you were younger, Byron?
What? I I'm probably the most filtered I've ever been in my life in terms of what I'll happily say on a microphone. When I was younger, a few drinks in me, and I would say whatever to anybody. So, yeah, I wouldn't like all my worst moments to be on camera, let me tell you.
Yeah, well, Hawk to a lady is taking all the steam away from the Edmonton Oilers lady who just whipped us off the game a couple of weeks ago. Very top. And that's all we've got to say on the matter of trending internet memes. Any final words on Mexican chicken oval bite?
I'll just say 2 picks, very chalk and cheese, very different. You've gone for the traditional, common northern beef, and then you've gone for the exotic. The bit of flair, and it's going 2 different ways. Some people would say the back office haven't got their stones in order. They haven't figured out what kind of where they want to go. But some people say you got to mix it up. So
this is the
interesting choice.
This is the beauty of Gregs. It can do it all.
And I would dare say, you're a proud Manchester lad, right? It's very Manchester, I think, that industrial stronghold. And also, it's a very fashionable city nowadays. It's a very cool city. So, you have that working class root of your meat and potato pasty, not a slice. And then, here he is having Mexican chicken on his lunch.
Yeah. All those people in the textile mills and now Mexican chicken. Which is not as fancy as it sounds because it's just a bit of
I know, but
breast.
It says Mexican. Come on.
But yeah, it is sensational. Joe's disappeared, but Joe's not up now. Byron, it's you with the number 5 pick.
I'm really struggling here because there's so many good options still to take. I wouldn't have taken any of your 2, so that didn't knock any of mine out.
We could have gone 12 rounds.
We could, yeah. I'm going to go with a real cheap, cheerful, just a pure Greg's item to me. The sausage, bean, and cheese melt is such a delight. It's such a unusual thing if you're not familiar with it. And it's just so pleasant. It's almost like childlike. It's something I think my mum would make when I was little. Like, love beans, love cheese. Who doesn't love a sausage? We're not doing Hock tours again, but just a real pure Greg's treat, in my opinion.
Nice.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my 2 picks. I think it's just, again, it feels a very British kind of treat. It's something you might have it on a plate, but wrapped in pastry. You don't really get that anywhere else, and it's a beautiful delight, and it's making me miss England even more.
You genuinely sound emotional.
And just to quickly jump back, because there's some corkers on this website, so just to reference what Greg's have put about their sausage, bean, and cheese melt. Some things were made for each other: strawberries and cream, Ant and Deck, burgers and gherkins. Well, maybe not everything, but there's one thing that nobody can deny, and it's that sausages, beans, and cheese are a match made in pastry heaven.
I'm getting emotional now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could not agree more.
Yeah, pretty solid. It's not one I get often, but it is pretty good when I do get it. It's like, I should eat more of these.
I was flicking through, very weirdly, I don't know why, my old Instagram photos recently, and at some point, I'd made cheesy beans, and I'd made a sausage roll to go with it, and that was kind of my best attempt at recreating it.
Did you shove the?
No, I just
in the
smothered along the top.
Okay, nice.
So you're getting it as you cut into it. You're getting the combination, but I might have to get that done again sometime soon because it was a nice throwback.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think solid pick. Good value, I think. 5. Second round, I guess. Yeah, good value. You happy with that? Solid pick, I think.
I'm real pleased. Yeah, I was just more weighing up. Can I wait another turn to get it? It doesn't sound like I could have done. So yeah, delighted to get it.
Yeah, I think Joe Belly's reaction may have taken it, but we don't know what's on Joe's board as well. But we're about to find out because Joe is going to take his second pick after drafting the sausage roll at 1-1. Joe, what are you going to take with the 6th pick to finish the second round?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Again, it's another staple of theirs. It's something I do order quite a lot. It's something which can be volatile depending on the temperature.
Yeah, it can.
Depending how it could. And it's the which one do I choose? Yeah, I'll stick with my original. I'll go with the steak bake. Love a steak bake. Very often it's, can I get a steak bake and a sausage roll, please? And it's it's just such a delight. The gravy, the meat. What can't you love? But like I said, if that is too hot, that burns your
yeah.
And you got your hands as well, so it needs to be the perfect temperature. And I don't actually mind it cold, so it's really, if it's too hot, I prefer it to be warm. But there's certain things like that which I don't actually mind cold, so it's sometimes prefer it. But definitely
high injury risk, high burns risk with a steak bake.
It's definitely a gamble. It might not work out. It might get injured in the first year or two, and some people say it's a wasted draft pick. But he could go on to a Hall of Fame kind of career. So it's a kind of play I'm willing to risk. When you get the sausage roll, you get your number one pick, the surefire Hall of Famer, and then you go for the steak bake, the gamble number 2.
Sometimes when I get steak bake, I will get it, and in the bag, you can feel it. It's too hot to eat, but then I just can't wait, and I'll take a bite out of it, severely burn myself, and then go, no, I need to wait 10 minutes. But I'll do it every time. Every time I'll do that when it's molten.
And you think like, well, I'll bite the corner and that'll let some air in, and it doesn't work.
Does not work. No. And if anything, that makes it worse because then it kind of spouts out. Like that's the worst bit. If you take a bite and it spouts out, because then you get burning your lip. That is just a miserable thing on anything, and it's like hot glue, and you just can't get it off you. It's hot.
There's a certain embarrassment as well to being pained eating a Gregs. It's not something an adult should be suffering with, and yet here we are, a regular occurrence.
Yeah. But big fan of a steak bake. That was the decision I was making, whether to take the sandwich before or the steak bake. But I diversified my board. I think great value at the end of the second round as well, Joe.
Yeah, it was on my shortlist as well. It's kind of one of 3 of my bake of choice, and I went sausage, bean, cheese. But steak was definitely in play.
Yeah,
it's a pure classic again.
It is tremendous. Yeah, absolutely tremendous. That's the end of the second round. Then, so we had what did we have? Mexican chicken oval bite at 4, sausage, bean, and cheese melt at 5, steak bake at 6. It's been a high quality draft so far, and yet there still seems to be so much there.
I could have a good draft starting now.
Yeah.
Just take these 6 off the board and I'd still be happy making a pick.
Joe.
5 more rounds.
Joe, what are you going to take with pick number 7 to start off the third round and your third pick?
Yeah, this one where it's more of a struggle. Just because I know what sweet I want, but it's way too early. And I don't want it to be the number 1 sweet because it probably doesn't deserve it. So I'm hoping it's going to have, but it is my number 1, but it's not worth going this high. And the other one I normally get, again, I don't think it's high quality, but it's something I do get. So I'm going to go maybe a little bit left field. And it's within the breakfast section. And it's something where, they do good breakfast here and there, but there's plenty where I feel like I can make it myself or, make it better, some of them. But the one I'm never going to make is the bacon and cheese wrap, which I do enjoy. And I had to quickly look on the website because I was like, wrap? I thought it was a pastry. That kind of thing. It's not like a wrap, how you would imagine it to be. It's
a tortilla.
But, and that's why I was like, what? They sell that as well? So I did actually quickly check, but that is just beautiful. Again, it's something you can have at breakfast, but you could also have it mid-afternoon because who doesn't like bacon and cheese in pastry? It's just, the butter, the bacon, the cheese. What else can you say? What a combo. What a triple attack. Does everything.
Yeah. It's not a tortilla wrap as mentioned. It's just called a wrap because it is just bacon and cheese wrapped up. It's
so delicate as well. It's really a nice light pastry.
Yeah, it is good. It's one that I don't go to because if I go to Greg's for breakfast, I grab, and we mentioned it earlier, you can get a cup, bacon tiny and a cup of tea for £2. or a cup of coffee, whatever you choose to drink. So I'd always just grab that.
But I find like their bacon sandwiches, like it's decent, but it's never mind blowing.
Yeah, it's more
the ease. Yeah.
And the value. But bacon cheese fry, yeah, it's good. I've had it a few times. It's nice. Yeah, good combo. Bacon and cheese you can't go wrong with. In Gregs pastry makes it even better. Yeah, solid pick. First breakfast item off the board. Is it going to be the only one? We'll find out. But yeah, bacon and cheese wrap. I'm interested to see what your sweet pick was, Joe, when we get to it. To see, is it right that you held on to it? Is it going to get taken? Who knows? Solid pick. Byron, on to number 8. Your third round pick.
Yeah, and I do feel, you talked about diversifying. Joe's just diversified a little with breakfast, and I feel a bit, I'm not diversifying because I'm I think what the boys would call a pastry slut. So, like, if I'm going to Greg's, like, I'll have a sandwich here and there, but generally I'm getting something wrapped in pastry. Which, again, like Joe, I have a number 1 sweet treat, but it just doesn't feel like a good value yet. So, we talk about bacon and cheese in pastry is a great combination. Meat and cheese in pastry is a great combination. And what better than steak and blue cheese? Those steak and cheese rolls were such a hit. I don't know how long they were around for. It felt like a year, maybe 6 months. I don't think it was. Yeah, it's probably close to 6 months. And they were such a delight. And I didn't realize, like, getting it at first, I didn't know what kind of cheese it was, but it's Stilton. And I'm not a huge blue cheese fan, but when it goes with steak, very good. And from what I was, again, doing a brief bit of research on discontinued items, this one seems to be the most beloved and called for to be back. And I could not agree more. I would sign that petition. Maybe not as good as a classic sausage roll. Definitely a lot different. It's got a very defined flavor. But yeah, I would definitely recommend, if it ever comes back, trying one if you haven't. And yeah, I miss it dearly.
These were absolute fire. Yeah, so good. I can't remember. In the research and when they finished, I think it was maybe again 4 or 5 years ago. They were long, but they were so good. Maybe I think it was the cost of producing them. I think they were quite expensive, and the margins on them weren't great. But my God, were they good!
Did you find out again just by asking a random young dude for one?
I did. It wasn't a random young dude, Joe. It was a guy behind a Greggs counter, just to be clear. I wasn't just roaming the streets of Manchester trying to find a meat potato pasty.
You'll probably get one that way at some point.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. These were incredible. Yeah, really, really good. I was a big fan of these, yeah. Yeah, definitely not over sausage roll, but really good.
Yeah. You know what? I've never had one, but it sounds incredible. I'm a big Stilton fan, and good that I never got to taste one and try one out. Come on, Gregs, bring it back.
Bring it back. Maybe
I think as well, like we touched on this in the chat at least. Iceland sell frozen Gregs items, which is such a godsend. It was such a godsend. Not great if you live in a country that doesn't sell them, but they were actually in the frozen range as well, the steak and cheese. So while they were available, you could literally just buy your 4-pack at the Iceland and take them home. It was great if you were going to be late night need sausage roll. You got the munchies, and you get a steak and cheese as well as just a sausage. It was a wonderful time to be alive. Yeah,
really, really good option. Yeah, I was interested to see if this one was going to go. I didn't know if there would be much love for that. Maybe I don't know if it was the timing. You guys might not come across them. I was hoping I might get that as a value pick later on. But yeah, steak and cheese roll, bring it back, Gregs. Or else we'll bash you.
We'll keep asking.
Yeah,
we will keep asking.
Keep asking. Just do it. Just do it so you don't get mired by us. Right, on me to complete round number 3. My third pick, the 9th overall pick. Oof, I've got a lot of options. Do I go sweet? I think I might just hold off sweet till round 4 and take my number 1 sweet then. I am going to go... Oof, what to take? This is tough. I am going to go for... I'm going to go for... Again, this is probably very traditional. I'm and it's a pasty that doesn't have a pasty or bake or slice, whatever you were fucking calling it, that doesn't have any meat in it. But I'm going to go for a classic cheese and onion pasty. Yeah. The only cheese and onion pasty I actually like, I've other cheese and onion pasties and they're garbage, whereas these ones just hit every time. Such a good combo. That mature cheese, the bite of the onions, just fantastic combination. And they do it so well. Again, this is another one that, similar to steak bake, you catch this at the wrong time, it can take the skin off the roof of your mouth. It really can. And again, just because it's more liquid in nature because it's just predominantly melted cheese, there's no stopping it. But yeah, as the freshness of the onions, which I think are probably more, they're only cooked in the baking of the pasty. What's that, Joe?
The freshness of the onion.
Oh.
Yeah,
they are sharp.
Yeah, cut through the cheese. Again, another classic, another one they've not really had to play about with it too much over the years, and just works every time. You're always getting an 8 out of 10. It's never low, it's never less than an 8 out of 10 when you're getting it. Again, another simple flavor combination, but it works.
Strong round for cheese.
It's been a strong round for cheese, yeah.
I love a cheese and onion pasty, so no slight from me here. And Gregs is. I'm not as strong in not liking others, but Gregs is by far the best, I think, in terms of reliability. Certainly, always really good.
Yeah, I think solid pick. Third round, feels a bit safe, but feels like just choose something out like Alabama and just it's going to end up being decent. Not reaching for the sky, but good enough, Paul.
Yeah, it's been round 3's been the cheesy round. Joe, bacon and cheese wrap. Byron, steak and cheese roll, and me with cheese and onion pasty. I'm going to break the sweet open because I think it's about time. There's still lots of great other options there: hot food, seasonal items, sandwiches and salads, and discontinued items that you could possibly take. But I'm going to bust open the sweet treats, and I'm going to go with what I think is the best of the current. Oh, do I go a bit more old school? No, I'm going to go the best of the current. I'm going to go give me the caramel custard donut to kick off the 4th round. Number 10 overall. I think, of the current donut options, I think it's the best one, and the best one by far. The others are good, but caramel custard donut is just fantastic. That fondant, the caramel fondant on top, with the chocolate stripes and that old school custard filling, just tremendous. I'm struggling with the graphics. I keep forgetting how to spell caramel. Thoughts? The first sweet treat off the board.
A really nice one, to be fair. I'm not a huge lover of all of Gregs' sweet treats, I'll be honest. I much prefer their savouries as a general rule. But the caramel custard is a real good one. Like I say, everything about it is good. If I wasn't just a pastry slut, I'm also a big caramel slut. So, whenever I go anywhere and get ice cream, it's always going to be some kind of caramel variety. It's my number one sweet flavor. So, real strong pick, obviously.
Yeah, they'd how growing up with donuts. That's how I imagine a donut to be. Not like the new fancy ones and the North Americanized kind of donut where it's a bit, for me, too much. It's the one where it's beautiful. It's not my favorite. I'm a traditionalist. I would go with jam with just the sugar on top. But it's a great choice. I do like their donuts. So Well, it wasn't my number one pick though, Pop. So in sweet wise, so just thought I'd let you know.
I think you might have just let it slip what yours was, but we'll see when it comes to you taking your sweet treat, which you're gonna have to do at some point. Byron, over to you. Pick number 11 for your fourth pick.
Yeah, well, luckily for me, I'm pretty confident Joe isn't taking my sweet treat, so that's going to be my 5th round pick. Joe just let his kind of spilled what he's picking there. Let me have a look, see, because I don't want to take another pastry item, just because, come on, you've got to have a bit of variety here. And I know what sweet I'm taking, but it's going to be next. Oh, that is a good pastry item, though.
And you have a pastry slut?
I am a pastry slut. And yeah, again, I think this might have been a northern variety only. I put it in the discontinued because it's not on their main site, so I presume it's been discontinued. But a corned beef slice, very similar to a meat and potato slice, truthfully, but obviously it's corned beef mashed up instead of that meat and potato slice style. But yeah, I used to love it. And again, I don't even know if it was northern. Like I used to get a lot in Newcastle when I go and visit family, because it was just like a big change from the chicken and the steak, which would be more traditional picks for me. And yeah, like I like corned beef a lot. It was different, but still great. I'd say a bit like the meat and potato, just a classic northern flavor. And yeah, I didn't really want to take another pastry, but yeah, I can't really leave corned beef just sat there. So
yeah, when I first saw this on the on our sheet, I was thinking like, is that just like a slice? You can put on like sandwiches, corned beef slice. I was like, that's a bit weird for Greg's to slice. And then it's just like, yeah, it's on in pastry. Again, it's something I haven't had, but I love corned beef. That in pastry, bit of HP brown sauce would make it. That'd be beautiful. Definitely gotta look out for that.
Yeah, one I wasn't a massive fan. I'm the opposite. I'm not a big fan of corned beef, but yeah, it was very popular again, especially up north, because it's the way the economy of the UK is that people have corned beef up north. But yeah, I think one again, reading in advance, people calling out to come back. It's been a long time since I can remember seeing them, so it must have been a fair old time ago for the old corned beef slice. But yeah, one, maybe you'll have some fans out there of it, Byron.
we thought the real ones, no.
The real ones. We thought about how we're going to make the graphic of these, because I don't think we can just put like the items up because they all look the same.
Anytime it's a pastry, just put photo of Byron up and just say.
No problem with me. Yeah.
Just anytime I hear anybody mention corned beef, or like you mentioned corned beef, the first thing that comes to mind is Phoenix Nights, where Jerry Sinclair is singing about corned beef when he's working in the Asda. It's fantastic.
Oh my God!
You got beef, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, corned beef slice. Right, Joe, is that where we're back to Joe?
Yeah, that's two, yeah.
Joe, so you 4th and 5th round pick. So what are you taking to end the 4th round?
I'm going to go a bit different. I'm going to stay away from pastry. I think Byron's covered that. I'm going to leave my treat to the 5th round. So I'm going to go something which I do get a lot. And it is something different to what I've chosen. They're obviously not the best place what does this, but I still love it, and I still think it's really nice. I love their pepperoni pizza slices. They're just so they actually get the amount of crust to the toppings and the tomato. It's not like really thick crust. I think it's just it's another one of them where it's sausage roll, and I'll choose between steak bake and the pizza slice. And then it was just a decision, margherita or pepperoni, and I just thought I'll just go for the pepperoni. Treat myself. It's only a draft. Why not? So yeah, let's go the pepperoni pizza slice to end the 4th round.
I was interested to see if one of these was going to be taken. I don't think I'd take them, but every now and then when they look good, I think the issue I have with the pizza slices is the real inconsistency in them.
Yeah.
Because they look completely different every time you go in. Or certainly maybe the ones I go into, so maybe the one next to where I work would be the most common one that I would go to. And yeah, they're just real inconsistent. Either looking very anemic or very overdone. Just never. So very rarely appeals. But when they look, the odd occasion they do look good, I might grab one. But yeah, they're all right. Like when they look like they're done well, they're pretty good. So yeah, pepperoni pizza slice. One I didn't think was going to go, but yeah, fair enough, Joe. Again, you need to. This is a man 15 minutes ago that was digging at me for not knowing what team I was building and which way the front office and all that, and the back office, front office don't know which way they're going. And then Joe's picked his pizza slice.
Well, I'm grateful. I've got my solid picks, my foundation kind of guys, and then you go swing for the fences in the later rounds. You can't just sit back when it's the fourth round. You're looking for those stars who can, they're not going to be in the league in the next 2 or 3 years, so you got to try it out.
He's taking a gamble. Cool. Okay, so that's the end. Any comments on the pepperoni pizza slice, Byron?
Truthfully, it's not one I really like. Same kind of reasoning. Again, like if I'm going to do eggs, I want a pasty or probably maybe a sarnie. But I don't know, like the pizzas just never really appealed to me. I've had them a couple of times, but again, kind of like you've said, Paul, like just inconsistent. I don't know if I've ever had a real great one. I know they're beloved, so like it's probably a me issue to be fair, because I know people absolutely love them. I thought one would get drafted. One of you guys would like them because so many people seem to. But yeah, they've never really hit with me. So I wouldn't take it, but I understand why.
What I would say is they are quite good. Like they are quite hefty as well. They're quite big.
Yeah.
They're quite good value, I think. Yeah. So that's one thing I will say.
Pound per 100 grams, yeah.
Yeah.
Coming out well.
Cool. So that was the fourth round. So the fourth round was the first sweets, the caramel custard donut from me, corned beef slice from Byron, and pepperoni pizza slice from Joe. Joe, your fifth pick, so it has to be sweet because you know the pick. So
and it's not the jam donut. That's not where I'm going. I'm going somewhere else. This is, I'm gonna go. Yeah, this takes me back to childhood, brings back the memories. It's probably like the flavor, which is certainly high up there when I think about other treats like biscuits, other things, and it's a humble gingerbread man. Because he just brings back so many memories, and I just love I love gingerbread, and I find it incredible, and especially when it's like at Gregs, I felt like most of the time it's usually like slightly soft gingerbread where you don't break your teeth on them, and it's just beautiful. You get free Smarties with it as well. Nice. And it just takes me back to being a child and always getting a gingerbread man, and I still look at it there and I'm like, you know what, fella, I'm gonna pick you. You're humble. You've been there for a long time, holding Gregs up. You're there for everyone. Young people love them. Old people love them. Let's get the gingerbread man.
Nice. The three Smarties representing the buttons on his
coat
or whatever. Yeah. I wondered if we were going to get to the point where, just completely unrelated, where we're going to be calling them gingerbread people. I don't know. I don't know if that's changed.
I already put my terrible joke in the chat. I wasn't going to air it, but yeah.
Oh, you was on the same lines. All right, okay. Sorry, I've just seen it. Joe, quick question. Do you have a particular method of eating your gingerbread man? Is it limbs, head, which way do you go?
I think usually the head goes first, and that's normally how it goes.
Ruthless, decapitating.
Yeah. And then what I used to pick the Smarties off, just have the Smarties on their own, and then just and then take the limbs and eat the middle. I think that's how it used to go. But yeah, like ginger biscuits are probably certainly up there with my favorite biscuits as well. So just love all things ginger. So yeah, just love the gingerbread man. There's like nothing wrong with him. You'd very rarely get a bad one from Gregs, and cheap and cheerful. Just yeah.
Wow. They are on the current menu, but I don't remember seeing one. I don't remember seeing them for ages. Like I've obviously possibly not noticed them, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they're on the current menu. So
just imagine Joe next time he's over, having his heart broken in Manchester Victoria Station.
Yeah,
I want a meat and potato pasty and a gingerbread man, please.
So like, what are you on about? Never saw it, I think.
Yeah, interesting. That's not where I thought you were going to go. But yeah. Good pick. I'm a big fan of gingerbread man as well. Again, probably haven't had one since I was a child, but Yeah, solid. I don't know why Byron and corned beef slices up on the screen. There we go. Back to Joe Gingerbread Man. Sorry about that, Joe.
Disrespect.
Apologies. I'm not disrespecting the Gingerbread Man. Right, Byron. Over to you.
Yeah, so my sweet treat, obviously. I had a lot of not strong opinions, I guess, and kind of referring to myself as a caramel slut reminded me of what I should really go with here. And again, we're going to the discontinued era. So we're going with the Gregs Nut Caramel Pecan version. What a treat this was. So it was your regular, like, I mean, what do you call it? Gregs Nut? It's like a cronut, a croissant-y donut type thing.
Cronut.
Yeah, and then the Gregs Nut has caramel in it, pecan on it. It's just, I mean, sugar overload, sure. You might have a snooze when you get back to your work desk if you have that on your lunch, but a bit out there for Greg's, but a real smash, I thought. I don't know why, again, they got rid of it. It might have been a pricey one to manufacture. Pecans aren't cheap. But yeah, I loved it. I think it was just a little elevated compared to like the Yum Yum, which I also love.
Yums are great.
Yeah, that was kind of where I was going to go. I was like, you know what? Let's just, like Joe says, it's a draft. Fuck it, let's go all out here. The Yum Yum might get me a double in baseball terminology, but that Greg's Nut Caramel Pecan, that could be a home run hit. So, yeah, big smash. Again, limited time only. But I think a few of my picks have been like that. Maybe it's better to, burn bright than fade away, to quote, I imagine, Kurt Cobain.
I'm just worried, Byron, you're going the way of Bill Belichick. You're living in the past. You draft. The league's moved on. The league's moved on to like the modern times, and you're still, looking behind, not looking forward. Is that something? How are you going to go forward with that and be one of these modern drafters where, how the NFL, how the Gregs has changed?
Well, look.
I mean, to be fair, if the outcome of this is that I'm regarded as the greatest Gregs drafter of all time, but I might not have a place in 2024, I can take that. I know what's good. I know what's classic. I know what hits. They might be the ones in the wrong.
Speaking of Coach Belichick, I think he certainly is trying to modernise, isn't he, at the minute?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Picking his Yum Yums.
I think his missus is younger than the Craig's Nut.
Yeah, quite possibly. And this is one I read again, looking at the discontinued items to add to our list. I don't remember the Greg's Nut, the Cronut thing. So yeah, one passed me by. I don't remember it all. I probably just looked at it and was like, yeah, no, I'm not having that. Weirdly, I did eat a Cronut the other day because Jenny picked some up from, I want to say, Lidl, and it was terrible. But I'm sure the Greg's one was much better. It was also plain, just sugar on the outside, nothing else. It felt like there was so many gaps that something else should be in. It was bizarre. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. Strong luck. 5th round, penultimate pick.
Sorry
you
for your Corona experience. Sounds a little disappointing.
Good stuff. Other supermarkets are available. Here
we go then. Last pick.
Mr. Irrelevant. I don't know if to go. So I'm torn between both.
There's a lot to choose from as well.
There is, yeah. Because like I said, we could have done 20 rounds of this.
Didn't touch drinks.
Yeah, drinks got left. I don't think there's anything on there that I'm going to take.
Hot food got left.
Sorry?
Hot food fully available.
Yeah. Nothing on there that's jumping out at me. I'm torn between a discontinued sweet item that's very basic. Or I've already got a sandwich. I don't need another sandwich.
You don't need another sandwich, but would you like one?
I've never experienced sandwiches before, so. In fact, I'm going to take a different sweet, and this is just because this one does take me back to childhood. And I'm hoping when I explain it, you'll understand it covers. It's a seasonal thing. I'm going to take the novelty bun as my Mr. Irrelevant with pick 15. So I think that covers. So basically, it's the bun where you got like the plastic ring stuck in the top of it. So I think they still do them, but maybe not to that extent. And you could get one for Halloween, and it'd be like a bat thing. Christmas, Easter, they do them. But the bun itself was actually really like just a very basic cupcake with icing on top, but always was really good. Really kind of well-made cupcake. Never dry. Always never dry. Just the icing was always good. Whatever combination of it was, I didn't want to use the other word to describe it. Not it being not dry. Just generally a real solid bun. It's fantastic, and they are still going. But I think probably my reason for me is the old school ones. Yeah,
plenty of sugar in there.
Yeah, just laced with sugar.
I bet your parents were happy with that.
Yeah, just a real great. Only a little thing as well, but really, 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 really good.
Can I ask? I've got a big question. Which season did you prefer? What you'd like?
I think like the Halloween one was probably the best one because you got like the bat plastic ring thing, and then like you get like the black and orange icing. I think that one was probably the best one for me. Yeah,
I would agree.
Yeah,
good pick.
Yeah. I was torn between a few there again because there's just so much left. What do you think then? What would have been your next ones then? What would be kind of your honourable mentions?
I feel bad not having chicken bake in there, truthfully, because another smash hit. Like, it could have went with sausage, bean cheese, steak in that area, but felt a bit like going over it a bit. And I kind of have a question for one of you guys, really. I don't think I've ever seen hash browns at Gregs. Are they good?
I think that's a new thing, so no, they are not. So
I was trying to see them on the list, and I was like, "Don't they Gregs in hash browns?"
Yeah, which is a shame. I think I tried them. Can't remember, but I'm a big I didn't take it, but I'm a huge fan of the breakfast stuff, like the sandwiches. So I will if I've not had any breakfast, I'll nip across the road because there's one right next to where I work. Bacon and sausage sarnie, cup of tea. Brilliant, and not all of them have them. They have to have like the hot food thing.
Yeah,
and you can add them to your breakfast sandwich for like 50p, and then you can just get them out and chuck them on yourself.
Yeah,
no, they're not very good, which is a shame because that could be incredible.
Yeah, I love a hash brown, but that's disappointing. I was thinking as well, like one of my favorite sweet treats is caramel shortbread, but I don't think Greg's is that good. It's fine, but I prefer where you can buy it like a local bakers where they normally have them a bit bigger and the caramel's a bit runnier. So, it was kind of in my mind, but not totally.
Anything else then that maybe should have gone?
I'm not quite sure should have gone. I had a few sweets I was thinking about. I do like their chocolate eclairs and the cream eclairs are really good. And Meg shouted out the Devon Ice split if you had ever had that, which was beautiful. And I also loved, again, very similar to the gingerbread, an ice finger, super cheap, just pastry and icing. You could, I think they were like 10p or like 20p back in the day, and you just could get loads of them. Were very simple food just to fill up on, and do love a good ice finger.
Yeah, it was really good ice finger. Yeah, that was what I was debating with my last pick. Ice finger, but I went with a novelty bun. Yum, I thought might have gone. I'm a big fan of Yum. Yeah, and therefore as well, similar, just the standard glazed ring donut. So good, so solid.
Have you had the pigs in blankets there? Because obviously that went number one at Christmas. But I'm curious why is it great.
I've had the pigs on the blankets baguette thing.
I was going to ask about that as well.
It's just a giant sausage and bacon baguette. It's just the breakfast baguette, basically. Not anything to write home about. There was one bit I thought was a real. It was a discontinued one, the nacho chili cheese bake. That was real good. I was a big fan of that. That did not last long. And then I think one it would be more for anyone in Scotland. I only had it once or twice. The macaroni pie was class.
Yeah, you can get those in Carlisle as well, because it's so close to the border.
Yeah.
And, yeah, very unusual item, but not one I would ever get regularly. But yeah, as a change up, it was definitely a change up.
Yeah.
So again, for those who don't know, it's mac and cheese in a pie.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'd like to throw out the with just kind of the chicken katsu bake. I find that anything like in pastry where it's not just traditional is always like throws up there when you get like the curry ones, and that kind of thing are always delightful. And I actually like them. They could be nice cold as well, which is always a like to keep them in the bag and see them at the end of the day. Treat.
See you later.
What a treat, right? And yeah, jam donut as well, because that'd be great. But yeah, so many other items that we could have picked. But yeah, okay. So just a quick run through before we pick our winners. I've got the sheet in front of me, Byron, so I can do the reading off for once. So Joe took sausage roll, steak bake, bacon and cheese wrap, pepperoni pizza, and gingerbread man. Byron took festive bake, sausage, bean and cheese melt, a steak and cheese roll, corned beef slice, and a caramel pecan Gregs nut. Not easy to say that last one. I took a meat potato pasty, Mexican chicken oval bite, sandwich, cheese and onion pasty, caramel custard donut, and the good old novelty bun. As always, gents, in the chat, we will vote and then we will reveal the winner, unless we could end up with a draw. So, ready? Yeah, on 3, 3, 2, 1, or on 1, I guess. Pop your winner. Oh, Byron is the winner. 2-1. Joe,
I thought we might have a tie this one, to be fair, because they're all such good choices. Like, it was
you picked up the other vote, so I back to farm. No votes for Paul. But Byron, yeah, your board of festive baked sausage, bean and cheese melt, steak and cheese roll, corned beef slice, and Greg's nut. Joe, what was the one that tipped it in Byron's favour for you?
I think it was the cheese, sausage, and beans one. That was the one I really wanted. And yeah, like from chat, I'm a pastry slut too, so he's got my heart. He's gone 4-1. Well, not going too sweet, so
that was kind of it for me as well. The novelty bun was kind of the tipper of, well, I'd rather have an extra pastry than a.
And I think it's because I miss pastry so much right now. It's been nearly 2 years since having that pastry, being able to get it whenever I want. It's certainly felt my heartstrings. It was a good choices.
Excellent. Cool. Good stuff. Well, that wraps up our Greg's draft and another episode of Good Teams When Great Teams Cover. I think we're going to end up with 2 episodes next week, I think. So we're going to have another draft that we pushed back with our guest, Byron, who we got joining us for the movie sequel draft.
Ash, I forget his podcast's name because I'm unprepared. But yeah, he's a huge movie buff and has his own movie podcast that I will try and get the name of up while we're puffing here. But yeah, a very smart guy. Knows his movies incredibly well, which it will balance me out because I really don't. So my picks, I'm struggling to put a board together.
Well, that should be fun. Yes, it's all-time greatest movie sequels draft that we're going to do, just because we've parked it a couple of times, and then we'll be into the State of the Division series, our division preview episodes. We're going to start with the NFC East. So I think we've got all our guests lined up, or most of them lined up. So we're going to start recording that this week at various points and start putting it all together, and should be out. And then 7 weeks in a row, we'll have the rest of the division preview episodes taking us right up until the start of the season, where we'll get back into preview, review, bets mode, which I'm very much looking forward to. So, yeah, if you came by and watched and listened to this episode, we certainly do appreciate you because, we might have been scraping the bottom of the barrel getting this one out, but it's certainly a institution that's very close to our hearts. Also may have significantly lowered our life expectancy. But we'll be back next week. So, in the meantime, bottom of the oven, yeah. In the meantime, give us a follow. Good Teams with Great Teams Cover Spotify. You'll be notified every time a new episode drops. At GTW_GTC over on Twitter, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok as well, where we are certainly making an effort to get more and more content out. So yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.